Garden Time has been at the Chinese garden many times, but we've never been in the tea house, and it's the Tao of Tea, and I'm with Verander, and you're going to tell us more about where tea comes from, what kind of plants, and that we can actually grow those plants here in the Portland area.
Well, the birthplace of tea is the area of southern Yunnan in China, bordering with Burma, Laos, and upper Assam in India. That's the genesis of tea. That's where it originated, and that's where, if you hear about the caravans that carried tea from southern China all the way through to the Middle East, that's the heart of where tea originated. You can grow tea here in Portland. In fact, I have several plants in my backyard here in Portland. One of them has been growing for the last 12-13 years.
Wow.
And there's a few plants here in the Portland Chinese garden that are really very healthy and growing well.
And there are Camellia. And we usually see the big flowered ones, but these are different species.
Well, it's a family of the Camellia, but within Camellia, the Camellia sinensis and the Camellia assamica are the two branches. The assamica is known as the big leaf varietal, which grows primarily in the subcontinent, the African tea growing countries, parts of southern China, and the sinensis, which is a small leaf, grows in more inland Chinese gardens and some gardens in India.
And so if we have it in our garden, I know William has one, if he went out now, he can pick those leaves to make tea, or is there a different time of year?
Well, first of all, the plants need to be about 4 to 5 years old before they will have the capacity to give you any flavor. And you want to pick them only in the new growth seasons, primarily in spring, late summer, and sometimes early fall or winter, depending on the region. Here in the northwest, we get a really good spring crop. Once you pluck the leaves, you will get a second summer crop, and you want to pluck only the new growth that comes out.
And so the different type of tea that, and you sell many different teas, it depends on the processing. It's almost those two plants make the leaves, but the way that the different flavors come is when you come into the processing. And different kind of processing, you were telling us that there's sometimes very intricate and sometimes very easy.
Yes, and I'll speak more on a generalized basis. You can make all different categories of tea from your tea plant. For example, if you pluck just the new growth tips and the buds and you dry them in a warm room, once it dries, that's more your white tea. If you were to pluck the leaves and immediately steam them, or if you were to take the leaves and roast them in a little wok, that's more the generalized style of making green tea. Oolong kinds of tea, if you let the leaves sit for a while, they lose a little moisture, and you bruise them, they start to begin a process called oxidation, which is where the oxygen enters and it starts a chemical reaction, and the leaves develop a flavor and a aroma. And then you do iterations of drying and cooling the leaf. That's more oolong style. For black tea, if you were to let them oxidize for a longer period of time, 3, 4, 5 hours, the leaves will turn from green to really dark, and that's more the style of making black tea. Now, this is again a very generalized way of talking about it. Each step has more intricate details that people go through to make good tea.
So the best part of all of this is coming into the Tao of Tea and enjoying a cup of tea and seeing all the different teas they have to offer and learning so much and seeing all the processes. Thank you so much. It's been so informative. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much
for
having me.